when we talk about the power of command versus the power of influence, I go back to this incident in my life. I took my first rifle platoon in February of 1985. I was assigned to the 4th Battalion, 6th Infantry Mechanized, the regulars of the 5th Infantry Division at Fort Polk, Louisiana. My first battalion commander's name was John Wayne Wild. His call sign was Duke 6. He was a ROTC graduate, baseball player, 2 tours in Vietnam, the 9th Infantry Division down south in the Mekong Delta area, but also as an advisor to a Vietnamese airborne regiment. He was airborne and Ranger qualified. And as I stood there, lax position of parade rest, he told me, "Hey, I'm giving you the worst rifle platoon in this battalion. Truth be told, it may be the worst rifle platoon in this brigade. But you're a shit-hot West Pointer, and you'll go figure it out." And our interview was over, and off I went to try and do good things. Now, in a short amount of time, I had to relieve my platoon sergeant. I found him another job on post. He went to work for range control. And then I grabbed an assistant platoon sergeant, Sergeant Stephen Gillespie, who was a staff sergeant, E6, started to rebuild our platoon. Well, not too long after that, I believe it was March, late March, we were in the field doing squad training exercises. At the time, we called them RTEPs, and we were doing a night passage of lines. So I was bringing my unit from out in the maneuver area through another friendly unit at night. And I had been up for several days, and I was cold because it was probably in the 40s, and it was drizzly, and it was dark, like the inside of a closet, dark. Didn't have good night vision gear. And here I am counting bodies coming through the wire. I'm cold, I'm wet, I'm tired, I'm hungry, my feet stink, I'm still not sure I love Jesus anymore. And I'm counting bodies coming through the wire, and this form shows up on my right-hand side, and I glance, and as it got closer, I saw that it was Colonel Wild. And his chin strap was unfastened, his web gear was unbuckled. He smoked Winston cigarettes, and he had it cupped in his hand so the light wouldn't show, and he was holding a canteen cup of MRE coffee, which was rancid. I could smell it from where he was. And he didn't say anything much. He got up next to me, and he shoulder bumped me just a little bit and said, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" And that's all he said. And in that moment, I was like the Grinch in the story, right? I could feel my chest explode or just grow bigger. And I was bigger, faster, stronger than I was the millisecond before that happened. To this day, I remember that as if it happened last night, right? To this day, if Colonel Wild reached out and said, "Hey, man, I'm going to Thermopylae, and we're not coming back," my wife of almost 36 years now would maybe get a text that says, "Colonel Wild called, and I have to go." Colonel Wild was at our wedding. So my wife knows him. She married me when I was a lieutenant. I don't work for him anymore. There's no command authority he has over me, but it's that influence that brings us back over and over and over again. That will drive us. And I hope that you've all had leaders like that. But now the question becomes, are you being that kind of a leader for somebody else? Will somebody tell that story or a similar one about you 36 years from when it happened? I go back to my law enforcement roots when I ask you this: if you were to get indicted for leadership, would you get convicted?